Earlier round win on Cloud9 CT side, they went missing back at a milk carton. They'll have to turn up on Vertigo because there is so much on the line. This is an important series to win and both teams will be looking, but only one team can press on forward and make it to groups right now. The other one loses a bracket for you, buddy. ENCE will be starting on the CT side. That's an instant pop from Snappy. That's a great start. He'll hear the legs going up those wooden planks as well. And that means reinforcements. We see a second, third, fourth man heading towards the A-bomb site for ENCE as Cloud9 start to build the wall of smokes. We're going to see that a lot in this game of Vertigo, excuse me.
And Cloud9 not dissuaded by the fact that they lose that first player, sticking with the plan. Fake Plant comes in to potentially bait out nades, but we've got a flash from maden. I wonder if ENCE want to fight for this.
There's the flash, and there is the swing. So far, so good. Valde delivers the headshot, and there's more to come. Advantage ENCE, and they are really taking this by storm. Buster's got so much to do, trying to isolate fights here the best he can, but Dihar coming in again with the Julies. He's so comfortable with them, and that will be a strong pistol round taken by ENCE.
Yeah, I like the way ENCE played that retake. They're still playing it as a retake setup, but they're playing it pretty proactively, especially after the bomb gets faked. They realize those smokes are going to fade soon. There's a player stuck towards the site who will want to reposition, so they come in as Cloud9 are still setting up their post plant. Makes it much more awkward for Cloud9 to figure out what the hell they want to do. Really well played by ENCE, and now we'll see if they get to benefit even further, as they should have a much better buy here. It's actually full M4s for ENCE in this second round, perhaps ready for the force buy of Cloud9 after they got that bomb plant on the T side.
Maden could be in some trouble there as the numbers come through. Oh, there's big trouble now. One more player remains on this bomb site for the CTs of ENCE, and Pius will be traded. 2 versus 3, heavily tagged Cloud9. It's winnable for ENCE, but it's already a scenario where they've taken too much damage. Valde's turn with the grenades now. Or is it? Dihar finds 2. Where is Exile though? Often the sorest pain point. Delivering the frags for Cloud9, starting to swing now, finds the first headshot. He has the 1v1 he was looking for. Goes back to the wall for Valde as well, and he is delivered in the clutch to steal the round away from ENCE.
Beautifully done from Exile after Dihar did so much work initially. Dihar's shots looked fantastic as he came back into the bomb site. These were the first 2 kills. Both players on this similar angle were hoping that they wouldn't see the second man. But then Exile did so well in the clutch because he made that noise to drop down and then instantly came back up. You wonder whether that was heard, whether that made any difference. Either way, it is ENCE who are forced back down to the weak buy.
Great understanding of the attempted bait setup there. Just questioning why he'd be standing there rather than deeper, more concealed. Important second frag, with nothing for granted.
Maybe warm up those nades a bit. Buster, I'm sure Cloud9 will get him up to speed.
Yeah, rough start then for ENCE. Reset after winning the pistol, trying to turn things back in their favor now. Very dangerous weapons they have in this mid position. Cloud9 taking their time, cutting noise, waiting for ENCE to make a play. Number of places where they could go for a swing with a pop flash. They don't have one, of course, but Cloud9 don't know that. They'll take their time. Hobbit is the expendable person with the MAC-10, looking for the info now, starting to swing, but Valde will find him with the Desert Eagle. So an early man dropped. And again, these 5-7s, the armor penetration is significant. They try to play off of Chaos here on the B-bomb site ENCE. Cloud9, 35 seconds. So, oh, Buster, as soon as he pulls the grenade out. There are big problems here for Cloud9. They've really got to find some kills before they plant this bomb.
Oh, Nafany eventually spots that back of Snappy, but it's still a 2v2. Exile might be bailing them out, though, with a couple of kills. And Valde's position was spotted previously. Still damage done onto Exile, but that bomb has been recovered, finally committed to. Shadow will use that chance to close the distance. He has to figure out where both these players are, and Nafany just swings him from the site. Scary scenes for Cloud9, but they overcome it.
A dicey affair at heights for both these squads so far. Really uncertain which way that one was going. Oh, they did well to get the kill fast enough there from that angle. And the timing for Buster was brutal. Everybody on the scoreboard apart from 2 players. 1 for each team. Hobbit and maden. You a maden man or a maden man?
Ooh, I think I switched, but probably maden more often.
Maden.
I don't mind.
It's free.
Too many.
USPs are out for ENCE. Things have not gone their way. Essentially fisticuffs in a round such as this. Shiro is there to clean up, get that bonus money for the AWP. Diha's got no choice but to eat that grenade. He'll eat some Glock action afterwards. Well, things have stabilized in the short term for Cloud9, but we are heading towards that buy zone now for ENCE.
I thought you was talking about the Bison for a second. I was like, surely not the Bison from ENCE. Surely not.
You never want to see the Bison.
No.
You want to see the Bison, and you don't want to see the revolver.
2 weapons near the bottom of the list, that's for sure. It will be a full buy for ENCE. Maybe missing an AWP, maybe missing some nades. No kit for them either as we get back into the server. But you don't need a kit when you get an early kill like that. Axile caught on the edge of the smoke. And now Nafany also wants to make a play back for Cloud9. Ooh, that timing's fantastic. maden completely caught out.
That shows some promise. Diha won't get traded in mid either. Snappy is here as well. And Hobbit finds himself versus a great many opponents. He does not have the bomb, but really he needs to try and find some kills here. Down to 12 HP, gets his bell rung. And it looks like this is going to be a tooth and nail fight by both teams on Vertigo, at least for this half. The money will allow Cloud9 for the most part to have another buy. But Hobbit could do with holding on to this. I mean, with all of 12 HP, he may not feel like he has much choice, but his choice is maybe taken away by Diha. Also in the red, though. Man on the run. Well, consider it a tactical timeout. Time to discuss the next round.
I don't think this is a very safe house for a man on the run. Not a roomy one either. Oh. Okay, you take that, but you get traded. Pretty good round of Counter-Strike, but I want to say that was a fantastic round of observing. I want to give a shout out, because damn, we caught all those kills. There was action all across the map. That was the initial frag. Then Nafany tried to make the play back on ramp. And once ENCE lost that player, they go for counter-aggression on mid at just the right time. Diha meets them head on. That was the decisive factor in that round.
You can see some neighboring players focusing on the action as well.
It was Fiku popping his head over, if I'm not mistaken.
Cloud9 with a tactical timeout now. Lots of discussion to be had. Don't know that either team feels like they're fully in control of the proceedings right now. And that's great for a deciding game in a series. Who's taking this one, Hawker? Tell me right now.
I still think Cloud9. They're normally pretty damn good on this map. So it ends, to be fair, but I just think Cloud9 overall should be the better team. More well-rounded, more skill on the roster. So I'm saying Cloud9, but I'm not saying it with my full chest. Not full confidence. Who do you side with? Do you want to be a contrarian and go with ENCE?
Sure.
See, now ENCE are going to win just because you so blasé said, go with ENCE. I put passion into mine.
I like to be unpredictable. ENCE mounting a defense around the ramp. maden's in position. Should a swing come in? And indeed it does. He finds two 1v1s. Very nice indeed for him. He's got flashbang support as well, trying to disengage, but Shiro will get something from this. A minute 10 on the clock. Only 3 Cloud9 players. They know there's heavy presence towards the A-bomb site for ENCE, but there's not a lot they can do about it without giving the whole game away with sound cues.
It's almost like Snappy had to sacrifice his life for Maden to get away safely, and now they double up on short. That could be awkward for Cloud9 here. If some CT aggression comes at the right time, as Cloud9 are trying to move towards the site, that could be pretty pivotal. You can see nades in hand right now. They're moving up towards the site itself, but they haven't cleared out that short position whatsoever.
Shiro again. He reappears.
They ready for another, though.
Throws the bomb to a teammate to try and find more, but St. Pius will punish him as he tries to reposition. Valde standing on top of these players now will find an angle and exile, and it's going to be hard for Buster to clutch this one. 20 seconds, 1 versus 3. Valde will deny him anything more in the round as well, and that is a tied score. 3-3 now as Cloud9 find their economy in the bin.
Solid ramp work from ENCE, and initially, Nafany for making ramp his own position. He even has a smoke named after him towards ramp on Vertigo. It was a map that he was initially very aggressive on up this ramp. But as the map has evolved, the CTs have got way better at fighting for that ramp control. And you saw there, Nafany went for one of those early plays, got shut down quickly. And Snappy's got a lot to get excited about right now, especially in this round, where Cloud9 are bringing a knife, not to a gunfight, but a missile fight, honestly. This is terrible for them. Maybe a run boost. I feel like you've got to have some fun in these rounds. If you're not having fun in these rounds, what are you doing, you know?
Yeah, this is an unhappy situation when you've got mostly a bunch of Glocks and you're just running at people with rifles. Not my idea of fun. Not quite a party.
Oh, pop.
Not quite a party at all. Well, that will be ENCE in the lead now, 4-3. A nice round for them to build a little economy. Stone faces on Cloud9. They had an opportunity to avoid Vertigo altogether, and it was taken away from them. It was stripped away from them, confiscated, forcing them to this third map. The AKs will be out for Cloud9 in round number 8, and they are off to the races. They may have enough utility. MP9 for maden, as we can see. But they won't be shy of aggression, these CTs. A different approach on this occasion, but Nafany's a leg man, and that means that maden's gone.
Yeah, Maden chose to stick with that MP9. They could have dropped him a rifle, but they wanted to make that play. Nafany snuffs it out on this occasion, and Nafany gets another. This is so key to Cloud9's game plan. He finds 2 openers, and even though one gets brought back, Snappy will try and tuck back to the site itself. Defensive smoke deployed, and Cloud9 will take a second to breathe because they've got that man advantage they were looking for, and they can wait for the action to come to them.
Hobbit's so good at that as well. Just giving the rope for his opponent to hang themselves. And it happens once more. 4 versus 2 now. And so desperate to find an opening, they give Cloud9 an even bigger one. But that bomb's not planted just yet, and Valde is still waiting. Here's the beeps though, and there's not much he can do about it. DR will try to clear some angles for him. But what is the plan? 2 versus 4. They have 2 smoke grenades. Valde has a kit. But it seems it will be disengaging. The numbers are too low. The chances are too low. Opportunities, personnel. The battle of power swings back and forth between Cloud9 and ENCE on Vertigo, as the score will be tied once again. Shiro currently 8 frags, but Dihar currently with 9, just about leading early.
Pendulum swings back to Cloud9 in this round, and you see the value that Nafany can bring as that in-game leader who's willing to go aggressive. If he has a good feel for a position he thinks he can get an opening in, he can call for that play. And once the first frag was found, he was much more comfortable because there aren't as many other players you have to be concerned about. You figure there's only going to be so many players on the other side, so he can isolate a second fight, and getting those openers put them into that advantageous position to win the round. That was a round where ENCE took that risk though, going for that aggression with the MP9. Now it is a proper full buy. where ENCE are less likely to give away that early fight like they did in the previous. They've actually gone for some B aggression on the ENCE side, getting a player dropped down early. Cloud9 themselves more focused elsewhere though. Quite a few players going up that ladder. Looks likely to be some sort of mid call from Cloud9 here while faking some ramp presence.
Look at this denial of information. They don't have the angles to understand if anybody is by that ramp. And now we've got 3 men moving through mid. Maybe at best 2 were seen on the kill cam there as Dihar needs some help. That's a bomb dropped by Snappy, a crucial frag. Valde holds his position as well, and ENCE find themselves at a man advantage. Shiro collects the bomb, but he's got to run through smoke and hope for the best. Denied by Valde, who's in a great position. He's got a wall to his right-hand side, and teammates in tow. 4 versus 2 for ENCE as they look to take the lead once again. Axal's got something to say about it though. Valde's done all he has to do in this round now. Hobbit starting to creep forward. 30 seconds on the clock to try and rescue this bomb. He may be betrayed by his shadow. Throwing a Molotov, using great angles as well. Down goes Snappy. Hobbit, such experience on his shoulders. They make it a 2 versus 2. They turned it around. They've got the advantage now. Axal dropping St. Pius. Maden's in the clutch. How did this happen? 1v1. Hobbit half health. Maden almost full. Hobbit has to be careful how he moves again. Creeping, but Maden is ready for it. What a back and forth. Every round is so close in this game.
I think you can see ENCE aren't really celebrating. They're more just relieved that they were able to close that one out eventually, because Cloud9 almost bring it back from an impossible position, it seemed. And I was about to give ENCE credit for looking so calm throughout this. You see, once this bomb gets dropped by Valde, you think, okay, the bomb's gone tumbling, but they try and force through the molly initially. They lose a couple of players. Luckily for Maden, he's able to save his team, bail them out.
That was so nervous. You can see that is a relief, an absolute relief. What a turnaround. Cloud9 showing sparks of brilliance. Doesn't matter how many are left, they can really make it dangerous.
I think that's an important round for ENCE because it could be a real frustrating one if you lose it. So credit to Maden for pulling through. Found it on the aggressive angle with the AUG. Has got an incendiary which will buy him time to escape. It has been nice seeing ENCE not really scared at all of Cloud9, playing with a lot of confidence here. St. Pius showing that with the swing. Snappy here to help, and St. Pius lands the close range shot. So even though one is brought back from Cloud9, they lose the early trade, and wow, St. Pius gets swung on. I thought that was his fight all day long. It was a Galil.
Axal is ready with the Galil. I always wonder how many people practice with the FAMAS, with the Galil. Axal looks like he practices with everything. He has been important today, but his work is not done by any means. 47 seconds on the clock. May feel like an eon for ENCE with 3 players remaining. See the boost looking for info, but Dihar is playing from further away.
Oh, that's not a flash.
That is not a flash at all. It's a very expensive flashbang, and it doesn't go pop in the same way.
Dihar's got time to throw fireworks mid-round.
26 seconds on the clock. Dihar slightly on fire now, forced back further. But there is a flank on the way from Valde with the AUG no less. That scope could be glorious. Won't even need it for Hobbit though. Bombs planted just in time. Valde at the back. At least one at the front. That is a huge frag. Of course, it's Axal with the clutch frag, but Maden will replace Valde. Almost a bait set up there. And now Buster's in a 1 versus 2. Won't work out for him as Dihar comes through, and ENCE will extend their lead.
Axal showing us glimpses of his ability, but it's not enough to carry Cloud9 through. Lovely flank coming in from ENCE as they get into position. Even though Axal lands the shot, it doesn't make the difference. And yeah, ENCE look very comfortable right now, which is honestly a great sign, because Cloud9 are a team who, coming into this tournament, would have been considered as one of the sort of top teams, certainly at this stage of the tournament. We didn't need the replay. But
I've never seen
we didn't need it.
injury thrown like that before.
I know, right?
Never. First time for everything.
Man's excited for the new year. Let's kick it off in style. Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's a nice entry from Buster. Lots of urgency to be had here, but there's already a molly in that connected position. But maybe that's enough. They can settle on that. Fall back. Try and poke for some weakness elsewhere. Minute 30 on the clock for Cloud9. As we can see, they've got a Galil, an AWP, and Tech9 Pistoleros to swing. Attention seekers. 3 Reddit posters running around.
Ooh.
With the AWP and the Galil in the back.
Cloud9 messing up that boost, making a bit of noise, and even though I don't think it was heard, they don't know that. They could have thought a player close by heard the noise and would have rotated. So instead, Cloud9 group up elsewhere. Still wanting to use these Tech9s as strength in numbers. This is a nice information play from Valda. He'll see that mid is clear, but it might make him further away on the rotate. If ENCE could delay on this A site, though, there's a chance he might flank down in behind.
Nice ladder work from Valde, but they have already climbed to the top. Cloud9 on this bomb site. D-Harp putting in work. Maden's here as well, traded by Shiro. Have they done enough, though? 2 on 2.
Yeah, D-Harp should just survive here. Valda's flank looks so strong.
Yeah, susceptible to a flank once again. Will they be ready for it at this timing? Oh, he's run out of bullets, I think, Nafany, and there goes Shiro as well. D-Harp with a number of kills. 4K for D-Harp in this round. Flank not even needed. Not sure how he managed to get all those rounds. Bit of jiu-jitsu involved, but ENCE seem to be growing again. Another dangerous round from Cloud9 up close with the Tech9s. D-Harp was ready for it.
Yeah, look, Cloud9 are happy making this round scrappy. Could have been awkward there for D-Harp, but he wins the first fight on the little hop, skip, and jump initially. But now Cloud9 have got to get their heads in the game here. 4 rounds secured on their T side, but that was a streak early in the half. The recent gun rounds have gone against them. Nade down early, does a bit of damage.
What's the target number for Cloud9 with what's remaining in this round?
That's a good question. I think you want 6, maybe 7, and you're okay. Thing is, normally Cloud9 are pretty damn good on their CT sides. So I don't think they need too many.
Cloud9 bunched together like penguins in the winter. Suddenly it goes quiet. Once the Molotovs have gone, but there are more to be deployed, and here comes the swing. Snappy's ready for it though, hiding behind the flames, now falling behind them as the trade is there. But Axal is carrying the bomb with 20 HP. That is big information for ENCE. Maybe reveals the intentions of Cloud9. We can see on the radar the rotation towards that A bomb site. Valde and Sapias are here deploying utility, trying to slow Cloud9 down, but will they commit?
Molly goes into short. They're trying to flush out some of these positions. Maden caught in transition, and that could be the cue for Cloud9 to commit to this bomb site. Valde tries to move forward, but more utility damage lands. 30 seconds remaining. Smokes are up towards the site, but Sapias sees above them.
It's a beautiful shot from Sapias. Flames all through the round. Valde's dropped a bomb once again. That's full rotation now if it hasn't happened already. Shiro with 3 HP is surely soon to be gone. 2v2, 12 seconds to bring that bomb to the site or find the kills. Surely it's got to be the kills. Buster understands the urgency. Shiro's on the way, but he can't take a single bullet. Look at the swing from the CT. He's trying to defend, but he can't do it. Bombs planted. The frag is there immediately. And now we see smiles on the faces. It's been a high-pressure game of Vertigo, but ENCE surely feel a little more comfortable now.
Yeah, this is sometimes the issue you have with Cloud9. I think when they get uncomfortable, they default back to a lot of these very slow rounds. And ENCE aren't proving to have any issue with that. They're happy in these late round scenarios. They're happy getting down and dirty late on, where individual fights can be so important. They're keeping their cool right now, keeping their composure. And you think back to the earlier round with just the pistols, where Cloud9 went a little quicker towards that A site. That was fairly effective for them. There in the gun round, they decide to take it much, much slower. Ends up going against them. tight round, but ENCE had the upper hand at the end. And Groove will have a chance to talk to his team in the midst of the timeout.
Diha is firing on all cylinders right now. We've got a great highlight package from him with the kind of with the kills that we have been seeing. And hey, maybe if you saw an incendiary flying in the air like that, you might be confused for a second, and who knows?
You might think this guy's a madman. He'll do anything. I don't know what to expect.
Style points for the incendiary flying into the air. The launch program for the incendiaries there. 8-4 for ENCE. We're in the dying rounds of the first half, and there's a big buy here for Cloud9, but they are lacking in round wins in this first half.
It is another default early for Cloud9. We'll see if there's any decisions made a little earlier in the round this time. The ramp control has also been slight bit of an issue for them, but this time the shot lands from Shiro, even if it's not lethal. And now Nafany is moving up ramp alone. He might not have spotted. He snuck in towards short here. Oh, they don't know he's here. Easy kill for Nafany. He makes it a second, and that's what Cloud9 have been missing. The early ramp fights go his way, and this has to be a Cloud9 round now.
This is a very important situation because have a look at the money for ENCE. If they lose everything trying to hold on to this round, then they would be in a dire situation, and that could really allow Cloud9 to make their way back into this half and suddenly win a number of rounds.
I think you got to save.
Yeah, we can see maden disengaging. Like, this is, if they lose this round, they might lose 4 rounds. Because, I mean, if they lose all their equipment in this round, they might lose 4 rounds because of it. So that really compounds the problem for them. So that's a really smart decision, in my opinion, that they just disengage and give up the bomb site entirely.
A couple of gun rounds Cloud9 have won, have really come from Nafany getting those ramp entries. Can be such a pivotal part of the T-side game plan. And credit to him in this round, got into the unexpected position and overlooked that opportunity. Cloud9 find the round off the back of it. But you want Cloud9 to find some other ways to win rounds too, because that's not always going to be able to come through from Nafany. And Cloud9 are actually hunting. Their money isn't great either, but they want to see if they can take this away from ENCE.
Yeah, maybe they smelled a weakness. Because
I think so.
There were grenades being thrown and so on, and suddenly there was no challenge into the site. What does that mean?
Oh, the wallbang. Oh, he got it!
Oh, that's significant. That is significant.
It's the one low health player sitting behind the little wooden wall as well. Why not put him in a safe place?
Oh, man. He's moved into the angle just to avoid the stairs. The brutality, the sheer brutality. There's a big difference between 2 saved weapons and 3. Let's see the result of that as we move into the next round. Round 14. There will be MP9s in play. Tactical timeout being called by ENCE. So far, so good, maybe. 8-5.
I think ENCE is still pretty happy with this, but it is a lot of pressure on this next round. Because now if Cloud9 win this one, there's a reasonable chance they can get 70 rounds. At that point, I think Cloud9 are probably slightly happier of the 2 teams, considering how this first half has gone for them. In case you were wondering, Nafany has been involved in 7 opening duels so far in the first 13 rounds. He's won 4 of them, only lost 3. So he's been doing okay in some of those early fights.
We normally see a lot of impact frags from Hobbits, but in this half, he is almost at the bottom. He's got 5 kills. Buster with 4, both with 10 deaths.
I think you are seeing Buster play a little more on the extremities in this map. Also, hasn't been in as many action positions. So understandable as to why he might be a little lower on the board. Yeah, we'll hopefully see more from him and Hobbit as this map goes on. Diha's got the MP9. He's been killing it so far. Maybe the MP9 will still work for him with how he's been playing. I think he could use anything right now.
CT's changing their setup. Everyone holding on to their grenades. Look how much utility we have at minute 30 in the hole versus some of the engagements we've seen when both teams have been aggressive on the ramp. Can't play predictably. Will they expect this though? Shu on head, CT on head. Hobbit creeping around. He's crouching though. Trying to be as small as possible. Exile may be the first to engage. He's carrying the bomb. There we go. They're able to get out of there as well. There's no response. Oh no! Oh. He's hit his teammate with the grenade and that's done a chunk. Nothing too devastating, but they've lost a player and they were unable to trade despite all the players you see here on the ramp.
Yeah, I like Nafany trying to be first contact. You could see the pre-aim wasn't in that position, but the adjustment was good. There's a flash in, though, and Cloud9 wait for it. Those re-aggressions from ENCE onto ramp have not been effective, and now Snappy needs help. He has an MP9 right now, committed to the site. Valda is arriving, but it's 2 MP9s remaining for ENCE. They're going to need a lot of firepower from Valda to win this.
Snappy is stuck in position, and here comes the swing, doing his best. He's seen the bomb at the very least, but look at these frags coming through for Cloud9, lighting up the bomb site, taking the round, trying to squeeze that bonus money from the plant, but it's 6 rounds for Cloud9, trying to keep things as close as possible as we head towards halftime. There's 1 round to go, though.
I like what Valdo was trying there. He tries to swing towards ramp itself, so he can clear out that side of the push and then be focused back towards short. It could have worked if he wins his 1v1 fight, but unfortunately for him, he loses it. And that allows these short players to just get all the kills required. Last round of the half, bad buy for ENCE. It's the MP9s that are going to have to do it for him.
Oh, Snappy just swung to his left. Wasn't expecting Nafany to be there so fast. And this is a lightning round in itself. Look what's left for ENCE. Not many people and not many weapons. Only 1 primary weapon between the 2 players in the hands of D-Heart. The MP9 barely in position. He's managed to make his way forward though, but to not much avail at all. Did Nafany just spot something there? Either way, Exile will clean up, he'll bleach the floors. St. Pius now with a Desert Eagle, 1 versus 5. This would be quite the highlights. Cloud9 not going to make any assumptions, not going to take this for granted. They'll be careful, regardless of how many players remain.
ENCE tried what they could, bit of aggression, but Nafany winning quite a few ramp fights here towards the end of the half has been a pretty big difference maker in getting them a few more rounds on the board. And this one about to be confirmed. St. Pius might get 1 exit kill, but that's all she wrote. 8-7 half. We'll see who makes it through from the play, and one of these teams will be making it through. But first, our final break.
I'm behind you. You can play.
Well, mom, dead.
Quad inside. You can play.
Wait a bit. Sixer and tower, probably. Sixer and tower.
Let's
tower,
pushing you maybe.
Tower.
Half HP. Nice, boys. Bro, sick. I was so sure.
Another close half between Cloud9 and ENCE, but over on Inferno, it was that CT side that was so poor for Cloud9. They only got a single round on their CT half. They're going to have to prove they can do better than that here on Vertigo, our third and final map of this series. Winner goes straight through the play-in into Katowice. Let's see who's going to get it over the line. A couple of dualies in play for Cloud9. ENCE have got a fair bit of utility themselves. As Snappy breaks those windows, might be where he puts that utility into.
One round separates these squads. Urgency rises round after round here. Very important match to win.
Ooh, throwing those
road for the others.
Decoys at sandbags, maybe hoping they can hear if it hits someone. But no one there this time, so they're assuming it's clear as they go for this A play.
Retake territory for Cloud9. They've only got a flash though, no smoke grenades. Nafany with that one flash, and they've lost Shiro early. Two pairs of dual Berettas or dual elites, depending on when you start playing CS. You can see it being lined up there, but they're going to have to wipe out the defense of ENCE here, because otherwise this is not happening. The dualies get nothing done. Buster patiently trying to find these headshots. There's one, but there's so much more to do. They don't have a kit for this defuse, so this would be absolutely one. But now it's just down to the last Glock-wielding player, and he's being baited, he is being delayed. They won't let him get around the corner. But will there be time to find the defuse? Maden is being teased, and they'll just about get there. No kit, no smokes, no worries for Cloud9.
Oh, it's not easy playing retake without that kit, but huge credit to Hobbit. We said he was a little quiet in that first half. He came around that scaffold side and made the massive impact play. He got 3 kills from that one side. They didn't seem to realize he was coming, or even if they did, they couldn't stop him. And that is a massive pistol round win for Cloud9. Should give them the chance to get off to that good CT start, assuming they can beat back this force buy of ENCE.
3 rifles on deck.
Uh-oh. I don't know if they saw Axo.
Sound cues from his teammate above him. They may run distraction. He's got to pick the right time, though. He knows 2 are there.
Oh.
IRC is creeping. He's been spotted now. That's very painful indeed. Painful existence. 1 for 1, though. Ideally, as a CT, you want to find 2. There's some information, but that information can get old with the time on the clock that ENCE have afforded to them.
I was a little worried that it was the AK dropped, but luckily ENCE can get that right back as Cloud9 evacuate. Still a decent amount of utility for ENCE. Definitely enough for a site execute. But they've made most of their presence known towards ramp. And Cloud9 had Buster aggressive on B previously. Now he's moving back to cover off mid. But they're comfortable sticking with quite a few towards A. Now that adjustment starts to come in with 35 seconds remaining, just as ENCE start to make their presence known towards this A side of the map. So Hobbit will come back, and he should get back in time.
25 seconds. Teams here in Katowice are not shy of a late play in a round.
Ooh, another nade.
Need another nade. That grenade sailing in, but won't do enough damage. Bomb has been planted, and now the onus is on Cloud9 with 0. No utility whatsoever to find 4 kills and defuse the bomb. I cannot see another 10-second defuse coming through. They surely have to find the kills here. But look at the numbers coming in from ENCE. They're all going to pick together, and they will win the trades. 3 versus 2 now as Shiro and Buster remain. It's a dire situation for Cloud9. All they can really do at this point is try to fall back with what they have. If they're lucky enough to do that, Shiro will be denied as well. Bit sloppy on the frags there from Cloud9, and ENCE are back in the lead.
And you see Cloud9 willingly playing that retake setup without the kit. And I think it's more doable in the pistol round, where it can get very funky towards the end. You don't have a spray into a smoke, maybe, of a rifle to deal with if you're trying to get a defuse. But here against the decent buy from ENCE, does not work out for them. Unable to really have favorable fights because of the time pressure. And that puts Cloud9 back down into the dumps. They'll buy what they can, but it's not pretty.
Yeah, this is a hideous buy. This is a Minger's buy for Cloud9, but they are without choice. Now, what we can study here is the anti-force buy approach from ENCE, because it may not be the last one they do in this half. There's a trade by Nafany. Now, what does maden do? That's an awkward angle for him to commit to. You don't know what's around the corner. Indeed, 2 CTs lie in waits there, but at range, Hobbit will be dropped. So he's found another way, another opportunity, maden, and he's been popped by Shuro. Back and forth we go, 3-on-3. Still a dangerous round for ENCE.
Oh, I thought Nafany had that one kill dead to rights. Not meant to be. Maybe a chance for the native buster. But I don't think the player planting is low enough, even with the damage done. Buster hoping for a miracle through the smoke.
Oh!
Okay. I was going to say Dihar doesn't need to fight, but Dihar fights when he pleases. He's got 19 kills now. Really pulling away at the top of the board.
You love to see the confidence plays, even if it isn't necessary. I think personally I'd rather a player play confident and deliver the frags than be a little more conservative. Meanwhile, on the B stream, we can see Furia at game point in the first map here on Anubis. In a 3v2 situation. Big games all across the board here in Katowice.
Yeah, we got to see big on Anubis earlier. Clearly happy to have it in their pool. Furia matching them on this one, though. Currently besting them by the looks of things. I'm glad we have this, because Cloud9 have got nothing to do in this round with 5 USPs. Why not watch a bit of Furia big instead? Oh, it's quite tense as well.
It's a nervous 2 versus 2. Oh, the swing, the trade.
Ooh, Favin's got the clutch attempt. He plants in the open. Damn. Oh, and that smoke is so nice. He might have that.
He may indeed. Meanwhile, the eco is going as expected. Nothing doing there for Cloud9.
Favin's a madman. He's sitting in the smoke. This is wild.
Shotgun mode. Surely the AWP wins here.
Don't blink. Don't blink when the smoke fades.
Oh, there we go. It was always going to happen.
Had to do it to him.
Nice.
Good stuff. Coming in from Furia. Nice to see. Off the back of their performance over at Rio. Back into the action, though. Cloud9 had a terrible CT side on Inferno. Now they've got a gun round again. We've got to see them step it up here.
That is the best use of a USP round, if you ask me.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it. 2-8. All of these rounds, even in the first half, they've felt really, really tense, even as a viewer. But now we're in the second half. Now we're at the deciding end of the entire series. That tension is rising by the minute. Mac 10 in the hands of Snappy, looking for close quarters engagements. Nice opening from maden. Delivering grenades in the right direction as well, but no one's checking after that molly is thrown. But the trades will continue in favor of ENCE. 4 versus 3.
Nafany wasn't comfortable swinging. He knew there could be a player close on scaffold. And it is maden who might try and hunt him down. Flash was good, but maden can't take advantage. Eventually, he finds the fight, though. ENCE dismantling the ramp play from Cloud9. A 4v2 looking so good for ENCE. If they just stick together and trade effectively, this should be their round all day long.
Plenty of time to cut noise and chill.
Yeah, Valda's going to investigate B. He'll see it's clear, slowly but surely.
Going to try and keep people entertained here. But have a look at that forward play from Cloud9. There's a chance of a potential rotation here if they read what is happening. Valde's been quiet this whole time, though. Maybe Buster and Hobbit will stick together. But if this bomb gets planted on B, what will the decision be? They're starting to move around, but not quite rotate. 23 seconds. We've seen so many late rounds, and this can be the advantage of it. Bomb suddenly on the B bomb site, and maden still waiting here to punish them for their insolence. Does he check to his hard left? He doesn't, and down he goes. Well, it's another round in the bag for ENCE, though. After winning the pistol, Cloud9 have gone missing. This will be 4 rounds in a row for ENCE. Let's not forget the string they had in the second half of the last map as well. This is surely a concerning factor for Cloud9 as ENCE continue to pull away on the deciding half of the series.
And it does look like this is another map where the spots have changed significantly for Cloud9. Axile, for the longest time, was the B anchor of this team. Now it's looking like Buster has taken that position, or I think it's Hobbit, sorry. No, Buster's taken that position. Hobbit's now playing mid. There's just been a lot of changes from what I'm seeing on certain maps. And I'm wondering if that is making a difference to the chemistry, communication for Cloud9. Getting on the same page, because these CT sides have been lackluster on these last 2 maps.
The body language is lackluster as well. Cloud9 have a high bar of expectation for themselves, but they're not really meeting that at the moment.
Okay, now Axile is back to B anchor. So maybe they are going back to what they know. Or maybe it's just because they have the 2 rifles in this round. Who the hell knows?
That may be the case.
D-Hot's feeling it right now, man.
He really is. You love to see the confidence. Just run with the momentum. Snappy's here as well, but Buster's found 2 now with this rifle. Shiro outmaneuvered there by maden. But it's still competitive, 2 versus 2. This could be the round for Cloud9. Buster creeping with the AK, catching maden completely off guard. What happened there? Senpai's through the smoke, and the round's been stolen by Cloud9.
That's more like it. Cloud9 made this move, bringing Buster for ENCE for that firepower. We were waiting to see what Buster would bring. That's a round where he alone makes a massive difference for Cloud9. Getting those initial 2 trade kills on the B play and helping out at the end. And that's a round that Cloud9 may not have expected to win, but it could be massive. I mean, these 2 entries look so good for ENCE. I think they've got it in the bag.
Yeah, definitely a slip up from ENCE. But the question for Cloud9 is, they needed rounds, they still need rounds. But that isn't a round, that's not like a scenario they can expect to replicate in the rounds to come. They've got 2 pistols. They are maybe playing a different setup because of what they're lacking in that round, lacking util, lacking primary weapons. So now they come back to a full buy. Now Shiro's back on the AWP. How do they get back to winning ways in this scenario? That's the question. Because finding success here, I think, is how they find success and take the map. Otherwise, ENCE may just run them over for the rest of this half.
Yeah, that leaves them a little more comfortable at least. And it is a rare, quieter game from Shiro. Currently not with a positive KD, but he's got that AWP, so maybe that can change. Early ramp play will be coming in. maden happy to go through the smoke. Couple of players on the other side. Oh, those nades are nice. maden decides he has to duck away from them. And Senpai will follow suit. So some solid ramp control early from Cloud9 this time.
Ramp urgency raising again. Nafany's gone to the point of no return. Shiro is here though to warn them away, pre-firing. But again, that magazine's a lot smaller now, but he still finds a headshot through the wall on maden. What in the blazes is that? Buster here as well, and Cloud9 suddenly are firmly in control.
Wow, such a sick shot. D-Hard dinked and decides that's not a fight he wants. And this is now back to the setup Cloud9 used to play. Buster has just filled in for ENCE at mid. Axile's back to... What the hell? Okay. I thought we were about to see a knife kill. I didn't even clock that Buster was above him. But there we go. Cloud9 bringing it back to what they know and getting double digits to show for it.
Shiro have lots to say at the end of the round there. Rallying the troops to get refocused into this one. They've made it to 10 now. Fancy meeting you here.
Hello. Put you where you belong, in the trash.
Instant focus. On to the next round from Shiro. Well then, there's momentum that some will be looking for Cloud9. But again, it has been a line share to ENCE in this half. And D-Hard has been instrumental in that. 20 frags for the likes of D-Hard, and I'm sure he's not done yet.
He flashes in, Axel fighting forward with Buster. The nade helps out, but the nades are traded. One for both teams. Now the question is, do ENCE want to commit? They don't have a massive look to go up to the bomb site right now. They haven't got players up on the stairs, but they have all 4 Ts in this area of the map. Cloud9 boosting over the top, so they will see if anyone crosses. And ENCE staying compact. Looks like they do want to try and sneak up to the site.
Avoids the flashbang, seeing the T's now, sees the bomb, finds himself 2 on the boost. Beautiful from Hobbit. Cloud9 coming back with a vengeance now. Maden only good for 1, and Hobbit finds 4 on the bomb site. Devastating response from Cloud9 there. And suddenly the gap is reduced to 1. A late resurgence coming out the Lazarus pit, Cloud9.
Yeah, it's just looking so much more comfortable now for Cloud9. Ever since they've gone back to these spots that they used to play, they seem very happy to work together. Some lovely team play to get Hobbit up over the top. Figured that it might be a play back in. And now ENCE's money is weak in this round. With the pistols, do we see them up the pace? I haven't even got the flashes on the ENCE side. You'd want 1 or 2 flashes to just pop with. But how do you go through this smoke without one?
Man, this round is so dry. Their lips might be cracking on the ENCE side. Moving up the ramp though, they're closing the distance. Nafany, just enough time to reload. Team for the most part playing with some distance, but that's being closed now by ENCE. They're taking losses as they try to make their way forward. A war of attrition that will surely be won by the Cloud9 squad. Valde has the bomb. Maybe waiting for the smoke to go, looking for some more kills. Teased through the corner of the smokers. Buster is lurking. And now the score is tied.
And this is a big test for ENCE. Over on Inferno, it just all went right for them. They never had to adjust. They never had to adapt. Now Cloud9 have showed some real resistance here on Vertigo. The question is asked of ENCE whether they can find a different solution, whether they can find a different answer. Still plenty of play left for both teams in this map as we are all tied up.
Maximum loss bonus for ENCE. If they plant the bomb, they can bring the AKs out in the next round. If they don't plant the bomb, life will be much more difficult. Cloud9 have built themselves at least one more or less full buy if they lose most of their bits and bobs. ENCE playing to the limits of their economy, but they've got themselves quite a lot of tools here. 5 AKs on deck and plenty of grenades. Plenty of opportunity. No AWP though for the T side. Let's see what the approach to ramp is on this occasion by both squads.
Valde with the early smoke and flashes at the ready if needed. Shiro just playing from sandbags with the sniper. There is a player about to creep round this corner and Shiro spots him. Maden's been going for that aggressive play a couple of times. Cloud9 clearly wise to his tricks, but Hobbit has been caught out himself. And now Cloud9 may just have to give up on ramp. As soon as you lose one player, those crossfires are nowhere near as strong. And ENCE look like they want to commit to this. They're using some utility onto this A site.
Yeah, and Cloud9 can hear this, but I was going to say it might be limited in how far they can fall back, but there's so much being thrown onto this bomb site. How do you even comment for this action? Shiro has the angle, no comms needed, just AWP flicks. 2 remain for ENCE now as they look to lose the lead here. Shiro creating some space for himself. They could creep through that though. Diha on the site now looking for 2, unable to find it. Snappy in a 1 versus 3. Moving around the ramp, that bomb is fully committed, which means he is as well. Spotted at the back, tagged down to 30. Life just gets more and more difficult for Snappy and for ENCE as they lose the lead.
Yeah, that was an attempt at the faster play from ENCE, but you see the power of that CT smoke. Shiro's holding an angle where there's a smoke on his right side. He basically just needs to hold the line, and it's quite hard to flash him when he's in that position. There's the shoulder spotted initially, but this is that angle I was talking about. Really hard for ENCE to overcome this. They can't trade, they can't come in from short because Shiro's teammate was holding. And again, when you put Shiro in spots like that, that's when he's at his best, holding those angles, locking it down, and putting ENCE back down to a weak buy.
Oh, the bait. Buster collects 2 heads for the shelf. Congratulations, you're famous. 5 on 3. More Tech 9s in the hands of ENCE, but there are less and less hands. This is looking real rough for ENCE now. Again, if they don't plant the bomb, you will see rounds like this. If they do plant the bomb, at a minimum, they'll get the AKs out. So if you don't get to that part of the round, that has to be the first condition, the minimum condition for these rounds. Otherwise, every round is basically worth 2 unless they can find a stroke of luck with something like this.
Oh, hello. Hello. Nafany spots Valda from above. Figures he'll have a spam into the smoke. Hobbit will take that one. Nafany and Hobbit both falling. Great work from Sun Pius. Oh, he wants that gun. He is going to get it. And maybe there's some opportunities left in this round for ENCE.
They surely need at least 1 more kill before planting the bomb, but they've lost the bomb. At least it's on the high ground. Sun Pius gets there just in time to drop Exile. He has time for this. He's got 30 seconds. And what will he choose to do? He'll cut noise. He could be on the rotation. I think that will soon be found. But he'll give himself an opportunity. He might get a 1 versus 1 here, but it might be against Shiro. And that may prove to be painful. We'll see who gets to where first.
He needs to use a smoke here. I think he will. Try and get onto the site with it. Oh, planting in the smoke. He actually fake plants it. Didn't even have the time, but he gets run down either way. Cloud9 up to 14. And I have to give credit to Buster. Brought into the team to bring more firepower than INTERS. He is top fragging with 21 kills, proving his worth on this team, and he was set up perfectly in this round for those opening 2 frags.
Bust the bus.
Oh, I think the nade smoke is what allowed him to see the player there. Throwing the nade onto the position sometimes makes people visible behind the smokes. Some funky physics. Either way, getting that kill onto that position. And now ENCE will have that full buy that they were waiting for. No more excuses. Final timeout taken. What can they cook up to come back into this one? Because Cloud9 have taken over. They've won the last 6 rounds, and ENCE have had no answers.
Once again, at a absolute minimum, ENCE must plant the bomb to have a full buy at 12:15, should that be the case. If they don't do that, life is going to be even more difficult. But let's see what happens in this one. Maybe it doesn't get that far.
Oh, Diha's beating them. They don't realize Diha's so far up. He double entries onto the B site. And that might be the round right there and then. Rotate arriving. Finally, Hobbit puts a stop to the bleeding. But it's still Cloud9 down a man.
Considering their options now, seems that nobody else was close enough to Diha. Just went for a jog.
I love it from Diha, though. He's been the one winning them rounds. Take initiative. Make the play if you've got the timing window.
Snappy offering utility towards B just to keep people there a little longer. But have a look at this position on A. It's Shiro, but he misses a flick. Huge headshot from Sun Pius. A brave peek and a great result for ENCE. 4 versus 2. There is life in ENCE yet. The pressure is high for them now as they press on to this A bomb site. Sun Pius finds another one, and that has to be the round over.
Big step up from ENCE in this one. Individuals making the difference. That swing from Sun Pius, so risky to swing into that angle against the AWP. Feels so favorable for the sniper, but not meant to be. And now Hobbit caught out at the end, unable to save himself. This was that timing window. Molly goes down, but Diha just beats it. Gets straight up towards the site. Buster was hoping to swing to trade his teammate, but once he goes down, it is a massive problem for Cloud9 and one they couldn't overcome. ENCE finally stopped the win streak. 6 in a row for Cloud9. Beaten back by ENCE. Let's see if they can keep that up, though, because I don't think Diha can find a way to do that every round.
So many impact frags there. Supias' entry on A as well. Shiro can easily dismantle that round if they pursue, and he delivers that first kill. Everybody turning up for ENCE now. Winner goes to groups. Loser chooses a longer path, or is forced to one. Now, how long do they hold this position for? Got Snappy creeping around. Molly will be avoided. That grenade will not. Still, Nafany waits. 1 minute on the clock. I don't think they've seen a T just yet, but soon they will see many if they can find the right angle. I feel like I'm in a maths class right now. So many players coming their way. Finally, Snappy will say hello and goodbye in this round as Cloud9 look for match point. They've got the opening frag, but Hobbit has been dropped. Starting to swing now around the side. ENCE. Shiro delivers as that flashbang pops. Bomb spotted, full rotation on the way. Axal has to get here ASAP.
Shiro still on shore, eventually goes down. That's the frag they needed, but they need to know there's one more man there. They've got him trapped in, but it doesn't matter. Buster comes up onto the site, and Supias might simply have to watch. It's a 1v3 to try and bring it back, and only 22 seconds to do it. There's the first, but two separate angles. Surely the trade comes in. He gets the chance for the second, but Axile confirms 15 for Cloud9, and 2 chances to confirm their spots at the IEM Katowice group stage.
An expensive round, but they did what they needed to do for match point, Cloud9. Now let's see what their buy is looking like. We can see a French gun coming out for Hobbit and one for Nafany as well. Double FAMAS for the CTs. That was somewhat new to their ability versus an M4 or an AK. But perhaps it will be enough. The utility somewhat limited. ENCE now, they need 2 from 2. Snappy fast towards A. Buster staying close to the A-bomb site as well, so there are 3 players if required. But for now, it'll be the grenades doing the work.
Cloud9 still competing for ramp, but ENCE are about to hit them. Oh, and Hobbit just swings with the FAMAS. Huge fight to win. Nade finally finishes the job. But it's a man advantage for Cloud9. ENCE using a smoke to that right side. Do they want to commit off the back of this, though, because the CTs are still stacked here?
Axal's made his way over as well. So on the bomb side, we have a 3-on-3 situation. Axal trying to stay alive here as Valde finds angles. Plenty of time on the clock. But the urgency will feel very real. Buster dropped in isolation, smokes up bomb getting planted now. Grenades flying through, and so are the CTs. No bomb plant for you, say Cloud9. Second attempt from Valde, inviting a peek. Have a look at this boost from Shiro, though. He's almost in the ceiling, even though there is none. Valde 1 versus 2. They're lining up for him, and Shiro's here to trade. Cloud9 make it to the group stage of Katowice. Very tough game of Vertigo from both squads. From start to finish, it was very, very tense indeed. Going down to the wire towards the end of the series. Down but not out. The road is just longer.
Yeah, and good.